Have you had one of those days where everything seems to go wrong? Your train gets delayed, your plans fall apart, your boss throws a last-minute task at you and said, "It has to be done today." And you're just sitting there and thinking, "Crap, I've got such bad luck today." But what if it's not actually bad luck? What if those unlucky moments were actually helping you? And what if those shitty moments were actually tiny miracles in disguise? In this video, I'm going to show you how those bad luck may actually be synchronicity, guiding you towards your life's purpose. So the next time your day turns into a mess, you might just want to say, "Thank you, that was so lucky after all."
How to turn bad luck into a synchronicity blessing.
So let me share with you one of the luckiest synchronicity experiences I had recently. Last year, I was flying from London to Taiwan and made an overnight stopover in Turkey so I could explore the city for a day. That evening, I was due to catch my connecting flight from Istanbul to Taipei. And for once, I actually arrived at the airport 3 hours early like it's supposed to. But when I got to the airport, I saw the notice, "Flight delay by 1 hour." I thought, great, now I have to wait around and get bored. But then, when I put my hands in my pockets, my heart almost stopped when I realized I've left my passport in the hotel room in the middle of Istanbul. I started to panic, so I sprinted to catch the last train back to the city. And when the train finally reached its last stop, I grabbed a taxi straight to my hotel. And thankfully, the passport was still there, lying on the table in my hotel room exactly where I left it. So I grabbed it and jumped into the same taxi and told the driver to race back to the airport. Somehow, everything went smoothly. I got back to the airport 90 minutes before my flight was due to depart. Just enough time to clear security and get to the gate on time. And if my flight hadn't been delayed for 1 hour, I would have missed that flight completely. Stranded in Turkey and my luggage gone. So I've been thinking, was that bad luck? Or was it one of the luckiest synchronicities I ever had? That strange feeling I had, it's what the famous psychologist Carl Jung called synchronicity. Those meaningful coincidences that feels too perfect to be random. In my case, the synchronicity event was the delayed flight, which gave me just enough time to travel all the way back into the city, grab my passport, and return in time to catch my flight. Now, I know this might sound a bit mystical or woo-woo, but there's actually academic research behind it, including my own Masters of Science in Transpersonal Psychology research dissertation. It turns out that meaningful coincidences are more common than you think. In one survey, 84% of the people reported experiencing at least one striking coincidence that felt meaningful in their lives. And here's something even more interesting. Studies have shown that people who have experienced synchronicity reported higher life satisfaction and a stronger sense of purpose. So, if you ever had one of those moments that made you stop and wonder, was that just a coincidence? Or was it something more? Like I mentioned in my last video, you're not alone. And you might be just one synchronicity away from changing your life completely. Now, the idea that bad luck or a setback can lead to a positive outcome isn't exactly new. Michael Beckwith talks about two paths of learning and growth, Kensho and Satori. It's a great way to understand how we can turn what feels like a bad luck into a synchronicity blessing. So, Kensho is all about learning and growing through pain. Think about the times when something went wrong, like losing a job, going through a breakup, or even having a traffic delay completely throw off your plans. It's painful and frustrating in the moment, but often those experiences force us to change. They shake us out of our old routine. It's life's way of saying, "Hey, it's time to move your butt and make a change." Satori, on the other hand, is growth through insight. those sudden aha moments or holy crap realizations that seem to come out of nowhere. These are the pleasant breakthroughs, no pain, just clarity. Like when you're stuck on a problem and suddenly the perfect solution appears, or when you have a deep insight about your life's purpose during a breathwork or a sound bath session like I talked about in my previous videos. So most of us grow through a mix of Kensho and Satori moments. Sometimes life pushes us to grow through pain. Other times it pulls us forward with inspiration and insight. So let me share another story with you. My lucid dreaming teacher, Charlie Morley, once told me about a synchronicity story that at first felt like a total disaster. He had just submitted his book manuscript to his publisher. Everything was finished, ready to go, then he got his book cover design back. And it was awful, a total piece of garbage. Naturally, he was pretty angry about it. But because he wanted to complain to his publisher and prove he was right, he decided to read through his entire manuscript one more time, just to make sure everything inside was absolutely perfect. And during that final read-through, he discovered something shocking. He had made a massive mistake in the manuscript, a mistake that could undermine the core message of the book, one that he and his editor had totally missed. If the book cover had been perfect from the start, if he hadn't been so fired up and gone back to double check, that mistake would have been published and sent out to the world. So what initially looked like a book cover disaster turned out to be a massive blessing, a synchronistic disruption that pushed him to catch something critical just in time. And that's the magic of synchronicity. What seems like bad luck in the moment can actually be a blessing in disguise if you pay attention and take the right step. So here are the 3 ways that have helped me to turn bad luck to lucky synchronicity. First, when something painful or frustrating happens, I try to remind myself to suffer only once, not twice. What I mean is this: the initial pain, shock, and disappointment is real. That moment hurts. But I don't need to replay the pain over and over again in my head. Once is enough. Next, instead of letting my frustration spiraling out of control and onto someone else, I ask myself, okay, what's the next right thing I can do here? Maybe it's asking someone for help. Maybe it's rescheduling that meeting. Or maybe it's just taking a short walk to cool down and reset. Finally, at the end of the day, I take a quiet moment to reflect and ask myself, what did this bad luck teach me? Was it a hidden gift here? Because I used to think that bad luck and bad days were unavoidable. They're just part of life. But after learning about synchronicity, I started thinking differently. What if nothing is really bad luck? What if those little setbacks and disruptions aren't coincidences at all? What if they are life's way of guiding us back to the right path? Think about it. The things that we labeled as bad luck might be actually signs and synchronicity. Subtle messages that lead us towards the right people, opportunities, and choices that lead us to our true destiny. Now, that doesn't mean that we should welcome every problem with open arms, but it does mean that we could approach every moment with a little bit more curiosity and gratitude. It means living with the mindset that maybe bad luck isn't happening to us, it's happening for us. Now let me know in the comment section below, have you ever had a bad luck moment that actually turned out to be a synchronicity blessing in disguise? Maybe you met someone during a difficult time, or a new door opened just as another closed. I'd love to hear your stories. And if you enjoyed this video, please share it with someone else and click like and subscribe. And check out my other synchronicity video on this playlist. It really helped me to make more videos like this. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.